My Destined 1, Tensura x Arifureta by Void Kane. Ch 72. Date and confession. After Cam and the Hulian threatened Gaharudo that they will destroy not only their family but also the people of the empire will also suffer until Gaharudo replied to their request. Gaharudo at first didn't want to listen to Cam and the Hulians, but when he saw that his wife is the next that will be headed, agreed with the Hulians. Seeing his son die, Gaharudo had no choice but to release all of their slaves and was made to swear an oath that will be carried on by the future generation of Gaharudo's bloodline. The Hulians also made sure they will keep their oath by letting them know that no matter where they are, no matter how far they hide or run, the Hulians will come at them and take their life. And if they try to break the oath, all of their family members who are involved in their bloodline will die, and this will forever be engraved in the history of the empire. In the night sky in Philia, Belgian demi-humans are walking around in Night Street until they heard a noise followed by an intense light that shine from above that illuminates the surrounding. The people in the street became scared. Some are running around the place, some are starting to hide, fearing that this can be an attack to them by the empire. But contrary to what they have expected, the light moves to an open field in the center of the town, and the thing that is generating the light slowly descends from above, revealing an airship with red and blue markings. After the airship landed, some people and soldiers of Philia, Belgium started to surround the black airship. In a few moments of silence, the hatch of the airship slowly opened. The soldier ready their weapon to attack, but what come out of the airship is not the enemy that they expected. But instead, a fellow demi-human. The girl who was the first to come out looked around in surprise. She continues to look around until she stopped in a certain direction, then tears began to flow down her eyes as she saw a woman that's standing in the crowd. The woman, seeing her, immediately run towards the girl and hugs her tight. "Mother," the girl said as she continues to cry on her mother's shoulder. After that, more and more demi-humans started to come out of the airship and went to their family. After all, demi-humans leave the airship. Rimuru followed by Hajime, Yu, Tio, Kaori, Shay, Chloe, Akame, Sakura, Seal, Shizuku, Suzu, Kuki, and Ryotaro came out of the airship and look at the surrounding Wara. They heard a lot of crying and joyful luck because of the reunion of different families, that though that they won't be able to see their families again. Cam and the others also came out and look at the surroundings. They wanted to return to the Hulian village, but because of some circumstances they had to go to Philia, Belgium first to deliver the freed demi-human. "Boss, leader, thank you very much for helping us in this war," Cam said as he bowed his head towards the two brothers. "You don't need to thank us, all we did was help you prepare, and you did all of this by yourself," said Rimuru, who turned his gaze at Cam, who is bowing. "My brother is right, I only did this for Shay, nothing more," Hajime said. Shay, who heard Hajime's words, became red in embarrassment. "Hajime-san, thank you," she said and hugged Hajime's arms while smiling. You didn't stop Shay, since she also cared about Shay. Tio, who sees Hajime like that, also tried to hug Hajime's other arm, but Hajime throws her off and she started to say words like, "To be treated like this is a pleasure," and stuff like that. "Hayes, Hajime-kun should be honest with your feelings, you're such a tsundere, ha ha ha," Rimuru said as he laughs. Dopan Hajime fired a bullet at Rimuru, but like always it got stopped by Rimuru's barrier and he continued laughing. "You cheater," Hajime said, and then turns to Shay, who was hugging his arm. Seeing her all happy, he just let her be and started caressing her hair. They continue to converse until one of the elders in Philia, Belgium walks towards them. He is an elf with long hair. They know him by the name of Ulfuric. Is one of the elders that lead Philia, Belgium. He is an elf that lived for more than 100 years. He walks towards the group and spoke. "Rimuru Dono, Hajime Dono, I've heard that you recuse our kin from the empire. For that I thank that both of you," Ulfuric said while bowing. "If you want to thank someone, thanks Cam and the Hulians, they are the one who rescued your kin, not us," Hajime replied. Hearing Hajime's words, Ulfuric became surprises, but he immediately thanked Cam and the others. He then proceeds to offer that Cam and the Hulians to leave back to Philia, Belgium, but Cam refused and said they can now sustain theirself. Ulfuric, understanding that Cam and the others are fine without them, didn't push the subject further but instead turned his gaze at Rimuru and Hajime and asked if they are planning to enter the Haltina labyrinth. The two answered that they will enter the labyrinth, so Ulfuric offered them a place to stay since it's nighttime. Then Rimuru accepts the offer which Hajime didn't objected to. After that Hajime stores the airship in his ring that made everyone surprises Cam, and the other Julian will also stay in Philia, Belgium until Rimuru and the others finish exploring the labyrinth. Ulfuric guide the group to his house, which is fairly large. It can accumulate 30 people, and the only ones living there is Ulfuric himself and his granddaughter named Altina and some servant that maintain the hygiene of the place. After they arrived they were shown to their room. After that they gathered in Rimuru's room and talk. "Wait, why are you guys in my room in the first place?" Rimuru asked them. "Well, they're the ones who chose to use your room, so I just tag along," Hajime said. "Ha, well, anyways, why are you guys here?" Rimuru asked. "Of course we are here to discuss on what we will do for tomorrow before we entered the labyrinth," Shizuku said, and started to tell everyone that they should take a break for tomorrow and then enter the labyrinth the day after. Hajime wanted to enter the labyrinth as soon as possible, but seeing Yu and Kaori wanted to take a break decided to agree. Rimuru also didn't objected since they are all tiered because of the happening in the Empire. Kuki didn't say anything and just listened to the conversation. After their discussion everyone went to their room and sleep. Seal, Chloe, and Sakura wanted to share the same room as Rimuru, but each room only have one bed and it can only fit one person in the bed, so they didn't have a choice but to have their own room. The same goes for Yu and Kaori. In one of the rooms there's a balcony. The light of the moon illuminates the room windows where a boy with silver blue hair sleeps. The boy opens his eyes and stares at the ceiling of the room. "I want to hug you, Shizu-san," Rimuru said as he activated one of his skills that he made a copy from his subordinates. Illusion King Mespito, and combined it with Information King Akashic Records to create an illusion that looks like a hologram that shows the memory of his and Shizu and the time they spent together. He continues to watch it until someone knocks on the door in the middle of the night. He opens the door and there he saw Akame standing in front of him. He invited her to come inside and they both sits at the table that was on the balcony of Rimuru's room and they started to talk. "Is there anything that you need, Akame-chan?" Rimuru asks Akame as he pour a cup of tea for her. I was just wondering, after all of this is finished, what will you do?" asks Akame. She somehow has a hint of uneasiness in her voice. "Well, I'll go back to our world and continue to have a meaningful life," Rimuru said. "Well, of course this will only happen after he and Shizu are together again." Akame, hearing his response, became even more uneasy and also had a scared expression on her face. "What about you, Akame-chan? What will you do?" "I can return you to your world if you like," Rimuru said. Even if I return to my old world there won't be anyone waiting for me," Akame said while looking down. She had a sad expression. An expression of loneliness, expression not having anyone besides her for many years. Rimuru, seeing Akame's expression, moved his sits next to Akame and started to caress her head. "If you don't want to return to your old world it's fine, I'm not going to force you," Rimuru said. Akame became red because of Rimuru's action. For Akame, the reason for her journey in her old world was to find a cure for her disease, which is caused by her ultimate skill that she is not aware of. But now that her goal is complete she became confused on what will she do next, so she decided to join Rimuru and the others on their journey. In the month that they all been together she managed to earn the trust of the people around her. Their attitude resembled that of her old team except for Hajime, who had some anger issues but still cares for his team and his family. Shia reminds her of a girl named Mia who was energetic. Chloe remained her of a girl named Leonie, a cheerful girl and a caring one. Tio remained her of a curtain green boy because of her perverted attitude. All of her current teammates had similarities to her old team, but one of them stands out. It was Rimuru. His smile reminded her of a curtain brown-haired boy. Their smile is full of happiness but at the same time carry a huge weight on their backs. Seeing him smile reawakened the emotions inside, the emotions that she thought she had locked away. Akame was afraid that if she let her emotion out the same event will happen to her current team, but the more she spent time with them spatially Rimuru, her emotions slowly came back to her to the point where she can no longer hold them in. "Hey, are you alright?" Rimuru asked, seeing Akame space out. I'm fine," Akame replied. She wanted to talk to him about her feeling but she was afraid that if she does she will lose him, but then she remembers the words Ryotaro give her, "Just be honest with your feelings." Gathering her courage she spoke. "Hey, there is something I want to tell you," Akame said while her emotions is boiling inside her. "What is it?" Rimuru replied, looking at Akame's red eyes. "If I say that I want to stay beside you, will you let me?" Akame asks while looking left and right. I mean I want to stay beside you like Chloe, Sakura, and Seal," Akame said while her face is all red. Eh, wait, you mean that? Yes, I love you. I have thought about it and I know that we've only known each other for a few months, but every time that I'm with you and I saw your smile my heart started to beat fast and I always feel comfortable when I'm beside you, Akame said. Rimuru didn't reply, which makes Akame more nervous when she looks at Rimuru. Her crimson red eyes lock on Rimuru's golden eyes. The two stare at each other. And then Rimuru spoke. But are you okay with me? I mean Rimuru didn't finish his sentence because he got interrupted by Akame. I'm okay with you, I'll wait for you even if it takes years to decades. I just want to be with you, Akame said. I know that you are looking for someone, right, and that's the reason you didn't marry Chloe and the others yet, right? Akame asked. How did you? Chloe said it to me and I'm fine with that. I'm also fine if you won't view me the same as them. All I wish is just to be with you, Akame said. Rimuru, seeing her like this, let out a warm smile and hug her. I can't let a girl the loved be sad like this, can I? Rimuru said while hugging Akame. Does that mean, yeah, you accept me even though you know that I'm looking for someone and you said that you are willing to wait for me? I saw no lies in your words, so I'll ask you, Akame, will you be my fiancé? Rimuru asked Akame. Why? Yes. Akame said, and tears of joy started to fall from her eyes. Rimuru then takes out a ring from his storage. It's the same one that he gives to Chloe and to his other fiancés, but with different colors. The ring that he gives Akame had a color of blue that looks like the night sky. He then put the ring on Akame's fingers and kiss her. To be continued.